Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Welcome on in, along with Johnny B, Ken Weaver, Dan Mandis here. And I want to bring in Scott Cepicky, State Rep Scott Cepicky, joining us on the Newsmaker Hotline. And Scott, always appreciate having you on. This is a last minute scheduled interview. Scott, thank you for being here. I just wanted to get your reaction to this very heartfelt and very kumbaya-like moment that Justin Jones, of course, everybody knows Justin Jones, has now put out a little heartwarming video of what he wants to see in the upcoming state legislative session. Listen.
Hey y'all, happy 2024. We are officially 1 week away from the start of the legislative session in Nashville, and we're gearing up for another season of resistance at the General Assembly. So just wanted to hop on here real quick and share a few points as we head back. One, we hope folks will continue to show up and show out, to fill the galleries and the committee rooms and let them know that the politics of harm will not happen in the comfort of silence, but people will shine light on what is happening in the people's house. Number two, let's continue to hold folks accountable. As you see my colleagues in the community or, heading back from their home districts, be sure to ask them, what policies are you introducing that are going to improve the lives of Tennesseans and folks in our communities? And finally, number three, let's lean into hope, y'all. There's going to be a lot of harmful bills, attacking public education, proliferating guns in our community. But we're going to fight those, but we're also going to offer a proactive vision of what our state can be. I'm excited to introduce bills around environmental justice, around workers' rights and reparations. And so I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the People's House. Peace.
That's uplifting. Scott, what do you think?
Well, it sounds like he's running for governor of California, Dan.
Let me tell you something. They would vote him right up.
I mean, if I'm Gavin Newsom, I'm really worried about him moving to California. Dan, the people of Tennessee have spoken overwhelmingly on the direction they want their state to head by the reflection in the General Assembly. And we are going to continue to do like he said, we're going to continue to do the people's work in the People's House of Representatives, and we're going to continue to work to make Tennessee the best place to live, work, and raise your family, as evidenced by the amount of people moving here from California, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. It must be pretty good here right now, Dan, because everybody wants to be a Tennessean.
State Rep Scott Cepicky joining us. And Scott, one of the things, as I'm listening to this little mini diatribe from Justin Jones, and he actually talks about, the politics of harm and all these other things. The Tennessee Three voted against the school safety bill. Of course, that was all about getting security guards in SROs into the schools, fortifying the schools as well. They voted against those. And of course, they said that it didn't go far enough, or the bills didn't go far enough. But, when he talks about, the politics of harm and the rest of this nonsense, I think it's insane, because they had an opportunity, the three of them, to do some good and help to fortify schools, and they voted against these things.
Yeah, you're 100% right. There's nothing about that three that is about helping the people of Tennessee, Dan. It's about furthering their own careers. It's about them. It's about their likes and clicks on their social media. If they would spend, like Representative Jones, if he'd spend more time in Tennessee than he would all over the country, maybe he would understand who we are in Tennessee and what the people of this great state want. Everything that I listen to him on the House floor and I listen to him in the committee is all about race. And we need to stop talking about people's color and start talking about their character and their content of what they do.
Well, I think clearly, at least according to what you and I just heard and thousands of Middle Tennesseans, that's not going to be their goal heading into the next legislative session. And it's clear. Let's remind people, by the way, State Rep Scott Cepicky is joining us. And let's not forget how the last legislative session ended, or at least the special session, where you had Cameron Sexton and Justin Jones. They darn near came to blows. And or was it Justin Pearson? I can't remember which one it was now. But I mean, it ended very aggressively at the, on the floor as the special session ended. You were right in the midst of all that.
I got a phone call from Coach Heupel asking if I had any college eligibility left to continue my blocking career. It comes down to this, Dan. Are you there for the people of Tennessee and to do the work and represent our state, Dan? And remember all the greats that have been there before you. And go do the job to make Tennessee better for the people that we represent. Let's leave it better than how we found it. And if we work towards those goals, you're going to see bipartisan legislation passed. But there's been so much pressure by the Tennessee Three, in air quotes, on their own caucus, causing so much divisiveness that I don't know if the Democrats can even come together and work with the Republicans now so that we can craft legislation that benefits all Tennesseans. It's just a dynamic that we've never experienced before, and we will work through it, and we will continue to lead.
So I know that you're involved and you speak to a lot of the other lawmakers, the state lawmakers. 7987 points out, because that whole 1 minute diatribe, I don't know if you probably heard all the cliches just like I did, but, show up and show out, these are things where it almost sounds like they're, dare I say, dog whistles, like they say about Donald Trump all the time, where it's like, it sounds like there's an instigation there.
Well, we come and go into the General Assembly at the Capitol, and Justin Jones and Justin Pearson and Gloria Johnson are out there, and they've got everybody riled up, and they're screaming at us. And there will be times, and I'm a pretty big guy, I'll walk into the crowd, and I'll like, okay, I can't understand what you're saying because you're just screaming at me. Why don't you tell me what your issue is, and then maybe we can find some common ground and see if there's something we can do to fix the problem that you have. And when you challenge them with that, they just scream back at you, Dan. There's no substance to what they want to do. It's just show up and show out. Well, you know what? I'm up there to do what's best for Tennessee, what's best for my constituents, and keep moving our state forward. I want to be relevant. I don't want to be irrelevant.
Well, and the thing is, you know how those activists work, right? They're given little cards, little index cards, and this is what you're supposed to scream in the faces of state lawmakers. And any rational conversation is simply not going to happen.